The police car pulled up to my house at 9:15 a.m. 2 officers. Lights flashing. My neighbor's kids were pressed against their windows watching. And Patricia Whitmore stood on my lawn with her arms crossed, pointing at my door like I was some kind of criminal. "That's her," Patricia said loudly. "She's running an illegal operation. 5 children are inside right now. No permits. Violating every HOA rule we have." I opened the door holding 2-year-old Marcus on my hip. 4 other kids were behind me, staring at the police car with wide eyes. Little Sophie started crying. The older officer looked uncomfortable. "Ma'am, we got a call about an illegal daycare." "It's not illegal," I said calmly. "I'm fully licensed by the state. I have all my permits. I can show you everything." Patricia stepped forward. "The HOA bylaws clearly state no home businesses." I gave her 48 hours to shut down. She refused. "I want her cited. I want this place closed today." The officer looked at Patricia, then at me, then at the crying toddler on my hip. "Ma'am, if she has state licensing, we can't just shut her down because of HOA rules. That's a civil matter." Patricia's face turned red. "Civil matter? There are 5 children in there. The noise. The traffic. This is a residential neighborhood, not a shopping center." "I've lived here for 6 years," I said quietly. "I've run this daycare for 3. Nobody complained until last week." "Because I just moved into the neighborhood," Patricia snapped. "And I actually care about property values." The younger officer was writing something in his notebook. "How many complaints have been filed?" "Multiple," Patricia said quickly. "How many exactly?" She hesitated. "Well, I filed the complaint. As HOA president, I represent the community." The officer closed his notebook. "So, 1 complaint. Ma'am, like I said, this is civil. You'll need to handle it through your HOA board or take it to court. We're not shutting down a licensed childcare facility." Patricia's mouth dropped open. "Are you serious? She's breaking HOA rules. Then hire a lawyer." The older officer tipped his hat at me. "Have a good day, ma'am." They left. Patricia stood on my lawn trembling with rage. She pulled out her phone and took more pictures of my house, my car, the toys in the yard. "This isn't over," she hissed. "By the end of the week, you'll be shut down. I'll make sure every parent knows what kind of operation you're running here." She stormed off to her car. I closed the door and put Marcus down. My hands were shaking. Not from fear, from pure anger. She called the police on me. Made a scene in front of the whole neighborhood. Scared the kids. That afternoon, 3 parents came to pick up their children early. They'd gotten emails from the HOA. Warnings that my daycare was under investigation and operating illegally. 2 of them looked worried. One mom, Jessica, worked as a nurse and had nobody else to watch her son. "Is this place really getting shut down?" she asked. "No," I said firmly. "I'm fighting this." But that night, I got another email. This time it wasn't just from Patricia. It was from the entire HOA board. They'd scheduled an emergency meeting. The subject line made my blood run cold. "Vote to terminate unauthorized business activity at 447 Maple Drive." My address. They were voting to force me out. And if they succeeded, I'd lose everything. My income. My home. And 5 families would lose the only affordable childcare they had. I sat at my kitchen table staring at that email for 20 minutes. Then I opened my laptop and started typing. Because Patricia Whitmore made one very big mistake. She had no idea who she was messing with. I spent 3 hours that night digging through public records. HOA meeting minutes. Bylaws. Every document filed with the county. And that's when I found it. Section 4.7. The rule Patricia kept throwing in my face. It said, no commercial business activity that disrupts neighborhood peace or violates zoning laws. But here's the thing. Licensed home daycares in our state were exempt from HOA restrictions. It was right there in state law. Chapter 42, Section 9. Any HOA trying to shut down a state-licensed childcare facility could be sued for discrimination and interference with lawful business. Patricia either didn't know this, or she was hoping I didn't. I printed everything. Highlighted the important parts. Then I did something else. I looked up Patricia Whitmore's address. 823, Oakwood Lane. 3 streets over. And I started scrolling through her Facebook page. That's when I saw it. Pampered Paws Grooming, book your appointment today. Operating out of my daughter's home studio. Her daughter. Melissa Whitmore. Running a full dog grooming business out of her garage. Posted prices. Before and after photos. Client testimonials. She even had a business page with operating hours. Section 4.7. No home businesses. I screenshot everything. The HOA meeting was scheduled for Thursday night at 7 p.m. I had 2 days to prepare. But Wednesday morning, something happened that changed everything. A black SUV pulled up to my house. A woman in an expensive suit got out. She knocked on my door while I was cleaning up after breakfast. "Are you the daycare owner?" she asked. My heart sank. "Yes. Can I help you?" She handed me a business card. "I'm Linda Kowalski. I represent 3 families in this neighborhood. We heard about the HOA trying to shut you down." That I stared at the card. "Attorney at law." "I don't understand," I said. "My sister uses your daycare." "Sarah Kowalski. Her son is Marcus." "Marcus." "The 2-year-old I've been holding when the police showed up." Linda smiled. "Sarah told me what happened. She also told me you're the only reason she can keep her job at the hospital. Night shift nurses don't have a lot of options for childcare." She paused. "I'm offering to represent you. Pro bono. Because what Patricia Whitmore is doing isn't just wrong, it's illegal." I felt tears coming but I blinked them back. "I can't afford a lawyer." "You're not listening. Pro bono means free. And trust me. I've been waiting for a reason to take down Patricia Whitmore for months." "What do you mean?" Linda's smile got sharper. She tried to fine my elderly parents $2,000 for painting their fence the wrong shade of white. She reported my brother's car as abandoned because he parked on the street for 3 days. She's a bully. And bullies need to be stopped. She pulled out a folder. "I've already filed a motion with the county. By tomorrow morning, the HOA will receive notice that any action taken against your daycare will result in a lawsuit for interference with state-licensed business operations. That should buy us time." "What about the meeting Thursday?" "Oh, we're going to that meeting." Linda's eyes gleamed. "And we're bringing every parent who uses your daycare. Plus a few surprises Patricia won't see coming." After she left, I called all 5 families. Told them what was happening. Asked if they'd come to the meeting. Every single one said yes. Thursday night arrived. I walked into that community center with my folder of documents, Linda beside me, and 5 families behind me. Patricia was already there. Sitting at the head table. Smiling like she'd already won. She had no idea what was about to hit her. The community center was packed. Patricia sat at the front table with 4 other HOA board members. She had a gavel. Actual gavel. Like she was a judge or something. "This meeting is now in order," Patricia announced. She banged the gavel twice. "We're here to discuss the unauthorized business at 447 Maple Drive. The resident has been operating a commercial daycare in clear violation of Section 4.7. I stayed quiet. Linda had told me to let Patricia talk first. Let her dig her own hole. "I have documented evidence," Patricia continued, pulling out a thick binder. "Photos of excessive traffic. Noise complaints. Toys left in the yard. This kind of activity decreases property values and disrupts our peaceful community." One of the board members, an older man named Harold, raised his hand. "How many official complaints have been filed?" Patricia hesitated. "Well, I filed the primary complaint as president. But I've spoken with several neighbors who share my concerns." "How many is several?" Harold asked. "That's not the point," Patricia said quickly. "The point is she's breaking HOA rules. We need to vote tonight to issue a cease and desist order backed by daily fines until she shuts down." "I'd like to speak," I said, standing up. Patricia's jaw tightened. "This isn't a public forum. Only board members vote." Linda stood beside me. "Actually, HOA bylaws state that any resident facing disciplinary action has the right to present their case before a vote. Section 12.3. Would you like me to read it out loud?" Patricia's face went pale. She knew Linda. Everyone in the neighborhood knew Linda Kowalski. The lawyer who didn't lose. "Fine," Patricia muttered. "Make it quick." I walked to the front and placed my folder on the table. "I run a state-licensed childcare facility. I have every permit required by law. Here are copies." I handed them to the board members. "What most of you don't know is that state law protects licensed home daycares from HOA interference. It's right here in Chapter 42, Section 9. I handed out more copies. Harold started reading immediately. Patricia leaned forward. "That doesn't matter. Our bylaws clearly state no home businesses. Then why is Melissa Whitmore allowed to run Pampered Paws Grooming out of her garage?" I asked. The room went dead silent. Patricia's face turned bright red. That's different." "How is it different?" I pulled out my phone and projected photos onto the wall using the community center screen. Facebook posts. Business advertisements. Price lists. She charges money. She has clients coming and going. She even has a business license filed with the county. That's a home business. She only does a few dogs a week, Patricia stammered. "I only watch 5 children," I said. "And unlike her daughter, I actually help families who can't afford expensive daycare centers." One of the parents, Jessica, stood up. "I'm a nurse. Single mom. I work night shifts at County General. Without this daycare, I lose my job. My son loses his home." Another parent stood. "I'm a veteran. My wife works 2 jobs. We can't afford $1,500 a month for daycare." Then another. And another. All 5 families. Standing. Talking about how my daycare saved them. Patricia banged her gavel. "Sit down. This is out of order." "No," Linda said calmly. "What's out of order is selective enforcement of HOA rules. You're targeting a licensed childcare provider while ignoring your own daughter's business. That's called discrimination. And if this board votes to shut her down, I'll file a lawsuit tomorrow morning for harassment, discrimination, and interference with lawful business operations." Harold cleared his throat. "I move to dismiss this complaint. The daycare is legal. State law protects it. And frankly, I don't see the problem." "Second," another board member said quickly. Patricia looked around wildly. You can't just dismiss this. I'm the president. All in favor of dismissing the complaint? Harold asked. 3 hands went up immediately. 4-1. Patricia's hand stayed down. Alone. Motion passes, Harold said. Meeting adjourned. Patricia stood up so fast her chair fell backward. She grabbed her binder and stormed toward the exit. But she stopped right in front of me. You think you won? She whispered. This isn't over. I smiled. Actually, it is. Because tomorrow morning, I'm filing a formal complaint about your daughter's business. Section 4.7. No exceptions. Her eyes went wide. Have a blessed day, I said. She left. The family surrounded me, thanking me, hugging me. Linda shook my hand. But the best part came 3 days later. Parents started calling. Not just the 5 I already had. New parents. Word had spread about the HOA trying to shut me down and failing. About a daycare owner who fought back and won. By the end of the week, I had a waiting list of 12 families. Patricia Whitmore tried to destroy me. Instead, she made me the most popular daycare in town.